This is Stuart, and today I'll be talking to you about smart processes. One of the things we're increasingly finding as a Microsoft partner is we've been given a vast array of features and functions in the Microsoft Toolkit that we can use to solve customer problems and build packages for them. We sometimes struggle to work out how we can apply and use these packages, and so we always ask for our customers if they have problems to talk to us, because it might give us an opportunity to find a solution to a problem they're facing. So what we tried to do recently is come up with a couple of instances of features and functions that we can use internally in our business to start showcasing some of this functionality from Microsoft. So we opened our Microsoft Toolkit and had a look what there was. Everyone's now familiar with Teams, so we seem to be using it increasingly over the last year as we've been sat inside. There is functionality within Teams called the bot framework, which allows users to quickly and easily start building their own bots within Teams that they can use to interact and carry out functions. Everybody uses Outlook, so we've included Outlook as part of this process, and SharePoint is used in the background, although you don't visibly see it in the foreground at all. There's also Microsoft Graph. This is something which kind of sits in the background and links up all the different parts of Microsoft 365. And one of the pieces of functionality is the ability to set up users and their reporting lines within a business. There's also other functionality and integration points to Office 365 and other Microsoft functionality such as Azure Active Directory. We've also used Power Automate, which some of you might know as flows, to produce some of the flows that we're using in the background of this. So we had all these pieces of our toolkit, we're trying to work out what we could do with it. So we came up with the solution of Ask Dick. Dick is our new Teams bot. So we've built Dick within Teams, and Dick allows you to kick off using simple commands in plain English. So it uses neurolinguistic programming to understand the questions that you're asking it. It's a process-driven functionality. So once you triggered a process, it will go through and carry it out until completion. It integrates with the Microsoft stack, so it's using numerous pieces of functionality in the background, which I've already highlighted, and it's multi-talented. So initially we built it to handle holiday requests. We've extended that to allow users to query their remaining holidays, how many days they got left this holiday year, for instance. And now we've extended it to allow jobs to be requested. So internally, when we create a job for you, our customers, we request a job that's then created, and this kicks off the process. It's also expandable, so as and when we want to add new pieces of functionality into Dick, it's very easy to ask our development team to build a new function or a new process that we can integrate into Dick. So to start with, I'll give you an idea of our holiday process. It will probably look very familiar because I think it's a similar process in a lot of businesses. So initially the user requests leave. That request goes to their line manager, who then reviews it and either approves or rejects it. A rejection goes back to the user, and approval then moves on to the admin team. The admin team then have final approval. This is particularly around sort of Christmas holidays, where you want to make sure that there aren't too many people from one department out at the same time. The admin team will then create a calendar entry, which goes into the holiday calendar and also into the user's calendar to show they're away. They will also create a resource entry in our Microsoft Dynamics Business Central system so that their capacity is reduced for the period they are on leave. We're now going to have a walkthrough of the functionality to show you in operation. Once the bot has been developed and deployed, you can pin it to the taskbar within Teams. So here I've got my Ask Dick test. I've also got a live Ask Dick, but I'll use the test one because I don't fancy booking any real holiday right now. So you click on the Ask Dick test and then start typing your question. Now once you click into that field, it prompts you and says, what can I do? This thing is a list of the existing functionality that you already have in your particular bot. So in our bot we can book holiday, we can view remaining holiday, we can ask for help, or we can request a job. So we're going to look at some of the holiday functionality. First thing you do is you can click View Remaining Holiday and submit that. This now goes off and it interrogates our internal Business Central system and it returns with my holiday. So this tells me that I've got 7 days remaining and a day's worth of toil. It also gives me a prompt for related tasks, so I can book a holiday by clicking on this function here. However, I don't want to book holiday. What I'd like to do is request some leave. Now you and I both know that's the same thing, but computers aren't always that clever. However, this uses linguistic programming, so it understands similarities in words and meanings. So if I type request leave, it knows that I'm asking to book some additional holiday. This then opens up the holiday request card. The holiday request card has been built by us to our requirements, so we can then specify a start and end date. So I can say I fancy booking off a Friday sometime in February, And there's a bit of logic behind this, so you can't book an end date before a start date, etc. You can also specify hours. So if you only want to book off a couple of hours or half a day or something, you can tell it the hours that you want to book off. You can type in additional comments, and it also queries the Microsoft Graph in the background to know that my line manager is Tom Jenkins, and therefore this holiday request should go to Tom Jenkins. However, sometimes Tom's not around, so if Tom's on holiday, I can set an alternate approver if I have a pressing need for some holiday in the near future. And the alternate approver is just a list that we've built internally of people which can alternatively approve holiday. But for now, I'm going to leave it and I'm going to let it go to Tom like it would do normally. So I then send the request. The request has now been sent, and what happened is Tom would then receive an email. So now we're in Outlook, we can see that we've received a holiday request email. And this email has been generated by Power Automate. So it gives us basic information. So the holiday request is by Stuart Hardman. The dates that I've requested, so it's February the 19th, just for the one day. It tells me there's only one working day requested. And this is based on a calculation that we built into our particular process that removes weekends and removes bank holidays. Then as the requester, I can approve or reject it. If I approve it, I can add a comment, and if I reject it also. And then I can submit that, which then forwards this request onto the admin team. If I reject it, it will go back to the original requester. When the email arrives in the admin inbox, they can then view the email. They can see the same details, so who it's requested by, what the start and end dates were, etc. They can see who's approved it. Now, it's me that's approved it, but only because I'm bucking the system for the purposes of this demonstration. They can also see the approver's comments. They get the choice to approve it or reject it. So I'm going to approve this again and just say it's OK from admin and submit it. When this is then submitted by the admin team, this carries out a few different functions. The first thing it do, it will send an email to the original requester to tell them that it's been approved. So that's arrived now in my inbox. There we go. It then tells them they'll receive a calendar invite very soon, which I've already received. So the calendar invite is then inserted into the holiday calendar and also into my personal calendar. I can then accept that. So that's now firmed up and in my diary. And it also creates a resource entry in our back-end Dynamics Business Central system. So that's the entire process, start to finish. If anyone's got any questions, please feel free to ask them now. Thank you very much.